Okay, so starting off, I'm taking my Garnier SkinActive Moisture Rescue Active Hydrating Moisturizer. It is a really long name, but it's amazing under foundation. So I'm just basically rubbing that into my skin until it's completely absorbed into my face. And for brows, I'm taking my NYX MicroBrow Brow Pencil and starting off in the middle of my eyebrow, working out to the outer part of my eyebrow. And I'm just basically doing this quickly. This isn't sped up or anything. It's the normal pace that I go at. And then just making sure that all of the lines are super sharp and crisp. And then at the front of my brow, I just kind of lightly draw it on, not as hard as I did towards the outer part of the brow because I want it to look a little bit lighter in the front, darker towards the outer edge. And that is the difference there. Now for concealer, I'm taking my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade 15. So this I'm going to use as my eyeshadow base, but it also helps to conceal all of the red veins that I do have on my eyelids. And lightly blending that in with my Beauty Blender. I'm not pressing it too hard on the eye area because it is a super delicate area, so I'm just kind of lightly going over it. Okay, so now with my Laura Mercier Loose Setting Powder in the shade Translucent, I'm just running that over top where I put my concealer. This is going to help the eyeshadow blend out really nicely. So now just taking my Pure Minerals eyeshadow palette, I'm starting off with the shade Gala. This makes for the perfect transition shade. So I'm just lightly buffing that into the crease in circular motions. The shade is pretty light, but it's very buildable, so you can get it to be a little bit darker if you do want it to be darker. But I thought this would be a perfect shade for transition. And then once you do have the shade you like, I'm just taking this one also in the Pure Minerals palette. This one is called Stunner. And I'm just doing a little bit more of a patting motion on the outer V at first to really get that pigment that you want. And then slowly start to push it up into the crease. I'm keeping most of the darkness on the outer corner though, just to really lift the eye. And then with a clean blending brush, I'm just going over the edges from where we put Gala and Stunner to make sure that they blend together. And with that same Maybelline concealer and a concealer brush, I'm just doing a little bit of a half cut crease with a very tiny amount of concealer. I'm just kind of outlining the front portion of my eye, really taking my time with this, and once I do have the sharp line, it'll make it a lot easier to put the shimmer shade down. And just building the shade up. I found it wasn't super pigmented at first, but the more you dip into the pan and put it on the eye, the better it gets. Just blending the two together so we don't have any harsh lines on the eye at all. To tightline my eye, I'm taking this black eyeliner from Rimmel London, and then just very delicately putting that eyeliner in my top lash line there. This is just going to make sure that the falsies that I'm putting on top really kind of blend in easy. And for mascara, I'm taking this tiny one that I got in my Ipsy Glam bag. This is the Tarte Light Camera Lashes Mascara. I'm actually loving this mascara. I definitely think I'm going to go out and buy an actual big version. So now I'm just taking the little bit of fallout that I did have from the shimmer shade and cleaning up the edges of my eyeshadow with a makeup wipe. Okay, so just popped on some falsies. To prime my face, I'm taking this one by Nivea. This is a 2-in-1 moisturizer. And for foundation, I'm taking my Marcelle Flawless Foundation, taking 1 pump of Classic Ivory and 2 pumps of Buff Beige. And then I'm just kind of dotting that on with my fingers at first and then blending it in with a beauty blender. So the thing about this foundation is it's amazing, it's hypoallergenic, it's basically everything I want because my skin has had a few breakouts lately. It just doesn't have a ton of coverage. So you'll see quite a bit that I'm really building it up around my my breakout areas on my chin. So just to kind of add a little bit more coverage, which I do appreciate because it is buildable. And just putting that on my forehead as well. And then very lightly going around my eyebrows so I don't get any foundation in them. And then down my neck too, so that we don't have a different color face than our neck. I hate that look, it's happened to me before. And as you can see, just adding some extra foundation on my breakouts there. Okay, and now just to add a little bit even more coverage on those breakouts, I'm taking my Marcelle concealer. For the under eye concealer, I'm taking my Maybelline Concealer. This one is also in the shade 15 that I use to prime my eyelids, just because this one's a little bit lighter than the Marcelle one, and I do want that highlighted under eye. Just blending that in with my damp beauty blender. And then just blending out that concealer over top of my breakouts. To set everything in place, I'm taking my Benefit Hello Flawless Pressed Powder. And then to set down my under eye area, I'm again just taking that Laura Mercier Loose Setting Powder. And zooming you in nice and close back up to my eye, I'm just taking that Stunner shade that we put in the crease, pinching my brush a little bit and putting that on my lower lash line. Okay, so for contour slash bronzer, I'm taking this one by Physicians Formula. This is the Butter Bronzer, and the smell of this is amazing. It smells almost like coconut in summer. It's just fantastic. But I'm just kind of putting that on my cheekbones, my forehead, down the sides of my nose, just to basically give my skin an all over more bronzed look. And now I'm just taking this bronzer by Sephora. This is in the shade Medium. And just on a contour brush, I am running that along the hollows of my cheeks and also along my jawline to make it, well, you know, to get rid of that double chin. And then around my forehead as well, you know, because you just can't have enough bronzer. For blush, I'm just taking this really pretty one right here that I also got in my Ipsy Glam bag. And for my all-time favorite part, I'm taking my Anastasia Beverly Hills Nicole Guerrieo kit. Look at that. I'm just taking that middle shade and that bottom left corner shade right there, mixing them together and popping that on my cheeks. It is super pigmented with the beauty lights, but yeah, I don't hate it. I absolutely love it. And then just putting that on my Cupid's bow, my nose, and then a little bit on my forehead as well because I love that glowy, wet, beautiful highlight. And wiping off the lip chap on my lips. For a little bit of lipstick slash lip gloss, I'm taking my Fenty Beauty Universal Lip Gloss. That's a mouthful. Okay, and that is it for the tutorial. I'm just going to spray my face with some MAC Fix Plus to make sure it's not super powdery or anything like that. And yeah, don't mind my tongue manicure sticking out, but I really hope that you enjoyed my tutorial, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!